FIFA just did something wild. They took the World Cup, the most watched sporting event on the planet, and they blew it up. More teams, more games, a completely new format, and half the world is calling it a disaster waiting to happen. But here's the thing nobody is saying out loud. What if breaking the World Cup was always the plan? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the new 48-team format works, why it changes everything you thought you knew about football's biggest tournament, and why by the end of this video you might actually agree with FIFA. I know, shocking. First, the old World Cup. For decades, it was 32 teams. Nice, clean, easy to follow, 8 groups of 4, top 2 go through, knockout rounds from there. Beautiful in its simplicity. Your average fan could track it on a napkin. That era is over. So what changed? FIFA expanded the tournament to 48 teams for 2026. That's 16 more countries than before, which sounds exciting until you ask the obvious question. How on earth do you organize 48 teams in a fair bracket? Because 48 doesn't divide into groups of 4 that cleanly. This is where it gets interesting. The new group stage. Instead of 8 groups of 4, you now have 12 groups of 4. Same group size, more groups. Each team still plays 3 games. Top 2 from every group advance automatically. That's 24 teams through right away. But then FIFA needed 8 more teams to round out the round of 32. And they came up with the best third-place rule. Here's what that means. Every group has a third-place finisher. There are 12 groups, so there are 12 third-place teams. FIFA takes the 8 best ones and sends them through too. In theory, this is a safety net for good teams that just had bad luck. In practice, it means finishing third is no longer automatically the end of your World Cup, which honestly, not the worst idea. The round of 32, the brand new round nobody had heard of 6 months ago. This is new. The old tournament went straight from group stage to round of 16. Now there's an extra round before that. 32 teams, all knockout, 1 loss, and you're home. So the path to the final now looks like this. Group stage, round of 32, round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, final. 6 knockout games if you go all the way. That's 1 more than before. More games, more drama. More chances for a small nation to cause an upset that breaks the internet. You know the type, the team that nobody backed, from a country most people can't point to on a map, knocking out a giant on penalties at midnight. That happens more now. But wait. 104 games total? Yes, 104 matches across the whole tournament. The old World Cup had 64. That's 40 extra games. Across 3 host nations. USA, Canada, Mexico, spread over 39 days. That is a lot of football. Some people love this. More football, more countries represented, more stories. Others are calling it bloated, a cash grab dressed up as inclusion. And look, they're not entirely wrong. Here's where it gets complicated. The real criticism isn't the format itself, it's what the format does to the games that matter. When you have 12 groups instead of 8, the chances of dead rubber matches, games where both teams have already qualified and neither has anything to play for, go up significantly. In the old format, that happens sometimes. In the new format, it's almost guaranteed somewhere. And nobody wants to watch 2 teams pass the ball around for 90 minutes protecting a result. Nobody. FIFA knows this. They've added rules to try to prevent it. But still, it's a real concern. So why did FIFA actually do this? Money, obviously. But also, and this part doesn't get said enough, genuine global growth. Before 2026, huge footballing regions like Africa, Asia, and North and Central America were massively underrepresented. Africa got 5 slots out of 32. They now get 9 out of 48. Asia went from 4.5 to 8.5. That means countries like Senegal, Japan, South Korea, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, teams that have proven they can compete, now have more paths in. And once you're at a World Cup, anything can happen. Morocco made the semi-finals in Qatar. Think about that. Here's the big picture. FIFA made a bet. They said, a bigger World Cup means more countries care, more people watch, more money flows, more talent gets exposure, and football genuinely spreads. That's the long game. The short game looks a little messy. More games, some of which won't matter. A new round that takes time to get used to. A format so complicated it needs a 5-minute explainer video just to understand it. But broken? No. Different? Absolutely. So back to the original question. Will 48 teams break the World Cup? Here's the honest answer. It will stress test it. Hard. There will be forgettable group games. There will be confusing qualification math. There will be moments where you think FIFA bit off more than they could chew. But it will also adduce more moments. More underdogs. More nations with a genuine stake in the outcome. More of that feeling where football actually feels like it belongs to the whole world. That's not a broken World Cup. That's a bigger one. And the question you should be asking isn't whether 48 teams is too many. It's whether the teams that didn't make it before deserve to be left out in the first place. If this helped you finally understand what's happening in 2026, subscribe. More explainers coming all tournament long. Simple, fast, no fluff.